Are you ready?
Well, hello GMC, this is Andrew speaking. I'm sure it hasn't escaped anyone's notice that it's currently Ivan's Blues Week on GMC. And what Blues Week would be complete without an interview with the great man himself? Now, since nothing is too good for GMC, I decided that the best way would be if I flew over to Serbia and actually met with Ivan and interviewed him in person, so that's exactly what I did. I spent 12 hours on various planes connected through Heathrow and finally ended up in sunny Belgrade, where I met up with Ivan and we had a very brief chat before I turned round and came home again. And here's how it went. Hi Ivan, how's it going?
Hi Andrew, it's going great, thanks for asking.
Welcome to the official Ivan Blues Week interview.
Well, thank you so kindly, Andrew, I'm glad to be in it.
Well, that's cool. I saw in the taxi on the way over here that looks like spring's arrived in Belgrade.
Yeah, you know, the warm weather just arrived here, it's pretty cool, lots of crowds in the streets. I hope this arriving season is going to be great and bring us all lots of good moments.
Okay, well, I have a few questions for you. Your audience at GMC wants to know a bit more about you.
Okay, great, I'm ready.
Okay, well, let's start at the very beginning then. What are your earliest memories of guitar and how did you start playing?
Well, I started out somewhere around spring 1999, and during this time our country had some political issues. So we had emergency situations where we went to the shelters and stayed there for some 5 to 6 hours per day, sometimes more, sometimes less, over a course of a couple of months. And since there was nothing to do there really, some people brought chess, some brought playing cards, and I brought an old acoustic guitar that my mother used to play when she was young and it was collecting dust at home. I knew only one chord to play, and that was the A minor chord, and slowly me and my friend, who also played the guitar, started to learn some more chords in order to play songs and sing so we can have some fun. And this is basically how it all began some 10 years ago.
Okay, you've developed a very interesting style and you've been called the GMC Funk Master, and you seem to prefer clean bluesy licks to high gain stuff. How did you go about developing that style, and what were some of your influences?
Well, I would say my earliest influences are the Jethro Tull's Rock Island album and the Doors album. Because I first heard them when I was very young, around 9 years old, and these melodies embedded firmly in my head because I listened to those albums a lot over and over again, since I didn't have any more music of that kind available. Later on, when I started playing the guitar, I tried to emulate the licks from Robbie Krieger and Martin Barre. And this is when I discovered Jimi Hendrix, Eric Clapton, and B.B. King. I only had available Jimmy's Southern Delta album. And I used to listen to that disc on repeat the whole day long. This is still one of my favorite rock albums of all time. In the beginning, I listened also stuff that was popular at the time, Metallica, Nirvana, Oasis, but also some jazz musicians, especially Charlie Bird. About my style, I think all this stuff that I listened influenced me greatly. And I tried to play classic rock and blues music because I really loved listening to that. I don't listen too much of high gain stuff, but I do like to listen classic hard rock and heavy metal great bands. I was in a band where we did covers of Metallica, Motorhead, Iron Maiden, Bruce Dickinson's solo career, and other great music, but I think blues, jazz and funk types of music are just something that I like the most. I have many friends playing all kinds of music like metal, mostly thrash and death metal crossovers, and I really respect that because I think any kind of music requires big dedication and hard work to become good at it. It just happened that I really love the blues and other forms of music that were influenced by blues and African American artists all the way from 1920s to modern times. Currently, I listen to everything that I can get my hands on if it is quality stuff.
You're currently in a band called Lute Papricica, or Angry Paprikas, along with fellow GMC instructor Bogdan. How did the band come together?
Well, the band was formed in 2004, and Bogdan Radovic, bass player and our GMC instructor, and Ivan Milenklovic, our drummer, are the band members that stayed from that first lineup. I joined the band sometime in March 2006, and the band had several guitar players before me and was still searching for its identity with 4 other songs at the time. And the band already had some major gigs playing covers of Red Hot Chili Peppers and was gigging regularly, so I started to play right away. I found the band on an ad that Bogdan put on one Serbian forum for metal music and musicians, and went to audition, being chosen among 3 guitar players.
Okay, you seem to be very busy with Angry Paprikas at the moment. What sort of gigs are you playing?
We as a band are constantly making efforts to promote the band's name and songs and do more author material. We are now profiled as author band that can play any covers if needed, but promotion of our own music is our first and most important goal. From the beginning, band had a great cooperation with our national radio that is doing gigs across our country promoting young bands. And the radio is giving us their biggest support, so we do gigs in many towns in our country. These gigs go live on the radio in special rock music radio shows, and we also promote our music to the local audience by traveling this way. The band is playing roughly, I think, 1 gig on every 12 days in average, regularly from 2005.
Finally, outside of guitar, I know you're a fan of computers and technology in general. We often see you in the forum answering technical questions. How does this complement your music, and what else are you doing in this area?
Well, I was fascinated by computers and machines since childhood, and I used to take screwdrivers and open up old devices to see what's inside and put them back together. Sometimes they didn't work after that, but I was curious, I really like to follow the progress that humankind is making with the development and application of new technologies. After high school, I went to the uni to learn IT sciences, more specifically databases, data mining, object modeling, and coding. But at the end of the final year, I was making lots of connections with people who are already doing similar jobs, and after hearing experiences, I somehow realized that I don't like to code or model IT systems. It was boring to me in some way. Now I still have friends who are doing those jobs, and I do respect them for really becoming experts at those areas, but it was just not for me. So I kinda backed off from that and went to master studies of multimedia production and mobile technologies. This kind of knowledge is very interesting to me, and it gave me a proper foundation to start make for a living as a musician and GMC instructor. I look at the PC and other machines, including music gear, solely as a tool to make other goals more easier to accomplish. This is why I like new technologies, because with the right kind of knowledge, they can help us greatly in everyday life.
Okay, well, that's it for now, Ivan. I'm not going to rush and grab a taxi and get back to the airport and catch my flight home. Thanks very much for spending the time to talk to us.
Thank you very much, Andrew. Goodbye.